Hi, it's Al Nigrin again from the New Jersey Film Festival, back with another filmmaker interview. But before I introduce our next guest, I'd like to just remind you that the New Jersey Film Festival will be taking place from September 6th through November 15th on select Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings at Rutgers University. We have two primary locations. Voorhees 105 is our state-of-the-art facility on College Avenue, about a block away from the New Brunswick train station. And our secondary space is on Thursday evenings, and that's the Ruth Adams Building, room 001, where we show mostly classic experimental films, with a few exceptions to that. But today, I have David Dubin here, who's the focus of a documentary called AliveAndKickn, and he's going to be telling us a little bit about that film. Tell us, welcome, first of all, David.
Happy to be here.
And tell us a little bit about how you got involved in this film, what its focus is.
Well, the film focuses essentially on the foundation AliveAndKickn, something that we created over the last several years. It's originally the foundation was based around, I guess, me. I've survived quite a few bouts with cancer, and I've been a soccer player since I was 5, so still play the game, and hence the name AliveAndKickn.
Great. And your film is a kind of mix between your experience with a colorectal cancer, correct? Correct. And you serve also as a kind of spokesman for the foundation because your mission is to...
Well, colon cancer and genetic cancers are kind of behind on the table of awareness and prevention. Colon cancer is one of the few cancers that's actually preventable. So, while we're doing our work for AliveAndKickn, awareness is still a primary focus because in 90% of the cases of colon cancer, it's preventable if detected early or with regular screening, unlike what I have.
And most people don't get a scan, right? A scope.
It's not a question of most. It's a question of percentages. Barely half of all people who are of age or should, based upon hereditary issues, actually do get scoped on a regular basis.
Why do you think 100%? Why isn't it 100%? People are scared, or?
Well, we all have a certain amount of time in the day, so that part is understandable. But you do have the stigma. You do have the punchline of a colonoscopy. People talk about the prep like it was 20 years ago, where it was just gallons of chalk, and they just don't want to go through it. Right. Or for whatever other reasons, they just don't get around to it, and that's unfortunate.
So how does the soccer part, besides you loving to play soccer, how do you connect these two?
Well, we wanted to reach a certain audience. Again, with colon cancer, it's stereotypically an older man's disease, and that's just not the case. Almost as many women get colon cancer as breast cancer, which most people don't think about. So we wanted to reach women, we wanted to reach people under age 50, and we did want to reach multiple ethnicities, not just your Caucasian. And we could think of no better way than soccer. And since I still play, it's a good excuse to get out there and use whatever methods I have of communication to get the word out.
You know, it's funny because your film goes through a jurying process that's two-tiered. All the films that we got about 390 films for this round, and most of those films are kind of seen by a pre-screening jury, and they weed it down to 100, 150 works. And the pre-screening jury knew that I was a soccer lover as well, because I played since I was a kid. Don't play as much as I should these days. But they said, you're going to love this film, but I kind of felt like I shouldn't watch it because I didn't want my personal bias to kind of, skew the jurying process. So I didn't sit in on your film, and it still got in. So it was a very powerful film. And tell the folks about the marathon that's coming up as well.
Well, we created an event called the AliveAndKick-a-thon. It's essentially a soccer marathon. It can be any number of durations depending on the location, but the one we originally did in northern New Jersey, New York City area, we actually did 24 hours. We started at 6 p.m. on a Friday, and we ended at 6 p.m. on Saturday. We played through the night. Obviously, the ages play against ages, so you have younger kids earlier in the evening. Some of the older crowd shows up a little later on. A whole bunch of us adults were playing in the middle of the night, under the stars, the lights on, New York City in the background. And the next morning, we rotated through again with other teams and other ages. And we were overwhelmed with the amount of popularity and our ability to scale this on a national basis. It's awesome.
That's wonderful. Well, when is the marathon this year?
The North Jersey Soccer Marathon, once again, is October 4th and 5th.
Cool.
It's at Overpeck Park. But we've done one in New England, and we're doing them in Philadelphia and Colorado.
Great. The Red Bulls should do it for you, too.
Well, the Red Bulls are involved. I mean,
great.
That's actually our, if you want to call
Main
it a
sponsor.
business model, is that we partner with the Major League
Because they do
Soccer
a similar
teams.
thing, too.
Right. Is to get MLS teams involved because it fits within their business. They're looking to grow with their fan base. And we fit with their message because it reaches the same audience. Colon cancer soccer, it's not exactly a typical fit, but the demographics work.
I think so, too. Well, folks, you have to absolutely come and see this film. It will be screening on Sunday, September 22nd. You can meet Dave in person as well as his beautiful wife and the director-producer team, Brett and Ralph Mull. They'll be there as well to take questions and to do an intro. So if you'd like more information, go to our website, njfilmfest.com. Click on where it says New Jersey Film Festival Fall 2013 schedule. Work your way down to September 22nd, and you can get a description of Alive and Kicking, the wonderful film that we'll be screening. It's actually the opening short film. The second film is called Far and I in the Storm, and Angelique Papalides sorry I butchered your name, Angelique, is going to be there also. She's an Australian filmmaker who was here during Hurricane Sandy, and she documents that horrible storm and how it ravaged the New Jersey and New York area. And so that's a really kind of very powerful double bill that we have that evening, and hope you can join us. Again, 7 p.m., Sunday, September 22nd, Voorhees 105. More information at njfilmfest.com or call us at 848-932-8482. Thanks so much for coming.
My pleasure.